Last year, it all began as a joyous collaboration between Alabama State University and Steve Harvey. But now the two sides are severing their ties after their deal with Harvey's help with the school's annual Turkey Day Classic and Hornet Homecoming Week has degenerated into massive drama. In April, Steve Harvey showed up at the Hornet Stadium promising to bring Hollywood to Alabama by having his investment company Harcal work out a deal to sponsor, promote, and organize ASU's Turkey Day Classic events.
I'm pretty big in the media. I can shine a pretty bright light on something. And I think if more people learn about what's going on down here at Alabama State, we can increase enrollment because it really is a fine university.
But now both sides say their relationship is over. Alabama State is accusing Harcal, which is Steve Harvey's investment vehicle, of withholding funds from the school from the game. But Harvey's partner at Harcal, Greg Calhoun, told the Alabama Political Reporter to come back on Steve Harvey and act like he's trying to pull something. It makes no sense. Joining us right now, folks, via phone from Montgomery is Kenneth Thomas, General Counsel for Alabama State University. Also joining us, Josh Moon, a reporter with the Alabama Political Reporter who's been covering this story. Kenneth Thomas, I want to start with you first and foremost. And that is this deal between Harcal. First of all, folks, we also reached out to Greg Calhoun to get him on the show, but we were unable to do so. Kenneth, the deal was signed between Harcal and your fired president, Gwendolyn Boyd. What are you actually saying? Are you saying that Harcal has provided no funds whatsoever to Alabama State?
Well, good morning to everyone, first of all. Let me see if I can just make this perfectly clear. All Alabama State University has done is requested Harcal to provide its audit report, which in essence is its profit and loss statement, which would, I guess, summarize the week of events that it was responsible for. That is simply all that ASU has requested. I would want to suggest to you that by letter dated February 22nd, the university forwarded to Harcal its audit report, which contained its P&L statement, and simply asked the question, when can we expect to receive the one from Harcal?
But Kenneth, according to a previous statement from the university says they are owed at a minimum $170,000, which the guarantee outlined in the contract. According to Harcal, the university sold some $800,000 worth of tickets. So are you owed $170,000? Did you sell $800,000 in tickets? What's the deal?
All right, if we could, let's take them one at a time. And the most simplest one is that the ticket sales for the football game was not $800,000. As we have put in our audit report, the ticket sales from the football game, roughly $364,000 plus. Now, again, that is in the audit report that was sent to Harcal, and that's why we are expecting their audit report. Now, let me go a step further on this point. The reason we want to get the audit report from Harcal is because the two audit reports from their week of events and from the football game is how you determine the proceeds that go to the various parties pursuant to the contract. For instance, as it relates to the football game, which we had complete control over, the university would receive 60% of the net proceeds. Harcal would receive 40. Then, from the week of events that was purely handled by Harcal, they would receive 85%, and we would receive 15%. And then that's when the template of the agreement.
Is 85?
Is 85? Agreed $170,000 guaranteed. So again, you can't get to the $170,000 until you reconcile the audit reports from both parties.
I want to go to Josh Moon here. Josh, you've been covering this story as well. You've talked with Greg Calhoun. I understand you've seen the documents. Your take on this back and forth?
I don't really understand why things spiraled out of control. I mean, if you look at the documents and you look at the back and forth between everybody here, in the background of all this, there's a lot of communication that's taking place. They're sending emails back and forth. There's bills back and forth about various things that ASU is charging Harcal for, and Harcal is asking them questions about. And it's all very cordial. It's all very professional. Back and forth, and there doesn't seem to be any animosity there at all. And then this thing happened a couple of weeks ago at a board meeting where it just blew up, and they started talking about litigation back and forth, between them. And I don't really understand. If you heard what Kenny said there, he said that they sent their audit report on February 22nd. When that board meeting happened, that was 10 days later. So I don't really know why things got to the point where it just seemed like that, this had taken place. But it behind the scenes, it seemed like there was a fairly good faith effort between the two parties to kind of reconcile everything. And it didn't seem like anyone was really that further along in the process than the other one.
Kenneth, we know there are issues here financially with Alabama State. I've seen reports where you don't even have the money to hire a search committee to find your new president. And so how in the world do you resolve this? I mean, here's how I understand. This is very simple. To me, this is simple. Why don't you simply call a meeting with Steve Harvey, Greg Calhoun, and the university interim president and say, let's sit down at the table, have the documentation, and go over this?
And again, that is what was done. I submit to you that efforts to reach out to Harcal started from the university as early as mid-January. And then things could never be scheduled. There was always conflict. So ultimately the matter was referred to the legal department, and that is when I communicated and forwarded our information to Mr. Calhoun and the attorney for Harcal.
So as of right now, you no longer that the university has severed its relationship with Steve Harvey and Harcal. They will not be doing anything with your Turkey Day Classic in the fall, correct?
Well, let me suggest this, if I may. Harcal has reported to the news media that they've severed their relationship with us. We've never made that statement.
Wait a minute, hold up. Josh, I thought the reporting I saw was that the day they fired the university president, Gwendolyn Boyd, that relationship was severed.
It was severed, but Kenny's right. Greg Calhoun told us that they were not going to be able to do anything else with ASU, and this thing goes much deeper than just simply this contract with Turkey Day Classic. There was a lot of back and forth that took place here with the Magic City Classic and the game between Alabama State and Alabama A&M, and that's what Harcal was actually shooting for, was to be able to do the promotion for that game because there's a ton more money involved in that. And so they were shooting for that thing, and I think that's where the politics of this all got involved, and everything kind of went downhill from there. And, and I think that ultimately everybody's going to be able to get their money out of things, and the $170,000 will be there for ASU. But I just think it's a shame that it went this way.
Well, I'll say this here. Bottom line is for the students there, this is not good for the students. They're trying to get an education, all the back and forth, not having money to hire a search committee for a president, having to hire another president after firing Gwendolyn Boyd. And so hopefully it all gets worked out. Kenneth, we certainly appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, Josh, thanks a lot as well.
Thank you.
A peaceful protest turned deadly. 37-year-old black man was shot and killed by Baton Rouge police. His hands are in the air, and you still get shot by the cops.
Oh, my God, please don't tell me he's dead.
We're not going to let hate define us.
Race is a big part of this.
If truly all lives matter, then all lives need to matter equally.
What we require is action. What we require is accountability. We understand that black lives do matter, and we will keep focused on this issue.
NewsOne Now, every weekday morning at 7 on TV1.